Guys, Deluded, I'm back again. Now, you guys know every month, we're at the end of the month, we're in April now, we was in March. I reviewed the Premier League month to see my feelings and thoughts, and yeah, I personally watch these videos back, and I will be in May, and looking at, did I start doing this last year? Whenever I started, it will paint a good picture. So let's just crack on, man. I mean, I've got them here on the good old iPad. Yeah, who should we start off? Let's start off with City. City, 84 points. What have I got on City? They've been handling business. They battled. They battered us twice, specifically in the league 3-0. Outclassed Chelsea, beat Stoke, and they beat Basel and the champs. And you just saw them against Everton on Sunday. So they're handling business and they look unstoppable, man. And they're going to win the Premier League title. They have a chance of cementing it in the Manchester United derby, and it's scary, man. I know these footballers, they'll win league titles, and if that's good, great. A lot of people don't achieve that, but for me, if I was part of them City players, or if I was the coaching staff, I'd be reiterating to everyone, we can create history. There's a lot of talk of the City side being up there with the Invincibles, the 99 side, the Jose side that got 90 plus points, United away or so. There's many different sides they're being thingy to. I'm not here to debate them. It will all make for a good debate. But what I'm here to say is that these players, if you're looking at them sides there of late, this is your chance to cement yourself in history and in folklore, so that when you lot have retired, like with a lot of these sides, you're still being relevant, you're still being kept. Legacy. Long when you die, there's a legacy. There's a chance to have history. On top of all of that, there's a chance to just become a better player, and you never know, man. Like, there's a chance of doing a madness. I'm pretty sure City are still in the FA Cup, I believe. No, they're out, right? No, they're out. They still have a chance of the champs, and they still have a chance of the league. So there's a double minimum, well, treble if you count the League Cup. So yeah, it's terrific times, man. Whether you're a young player, whether you're at the end of your career per se, like Silva still finessing and doing the madness, they're all playing great, and there's all different carrots for you to want to play good. A lot of you will be going to the World Cup, so it's in your best interest to keep this intensity up as well. City the easiest. If you're a City fan, it's calm, man. Like it's a madness. They should just try and, yeah, there's nothing they can do but just try and get the maximum points they possibly can, and then next season they have something to work towards, in that they can better what they've done this year, because next year is the one where everyone's going to be on you. Look at Chelsea. I know it happens to Chelsea a lot, but they just won a league title, and now they're on the verge of finishing 5th. How many times have you seen a side in England fail to retain the title? Definitely of recent years we ain't seen that. So that's the next scope. That's the biggest problem. When you've won stuff, how do you make changes? Do you sign players to get everybody out their comfort zone to up it, which they could have done with Mahrez? What happens? Of course, the City team will, I'm pretty sure they'll be unstoppable next year, but they're gonna be marked men. People know what they're gonna do. There's gonna be people gonna be slightly more familiar in how you beat them, of how to play them. And I know you hear a lot of talk of how do you beat City, etc. Maybe next year people debut that myth, to be honest with you. So enough said about City, man. We spent a good portion on City. Next, second place, we're going to go with Manchester United, 68 points. I know people are saying, and having me included, our own two pence and 10 pence and whatever about Manchester United and the way they're playing. And a lot of it's valid, and they could improve that. But the facts are, I believe Jose came out and said they're 10 points better off at this stage than they were last year. And they're on course of finish better in the points than they did last year, clearly. They finished 7th last year, and because they got Europa League, it was forgotten about, but they're on course to finish 2nd. I believe technically they've scored more than last year, and they're on course to scoring more. Whether that's whoever done the stats, I don't know, but these are the facts. Regardless of what we're saying about Manchester United, that shows a side that's improved from last year, and it's now down to Jose to get some fluid football, because the reality is, I'm not saying they should be on par with Liverpool, but I've said this about Arsenal. When you've got Aubameyang and Lacazette, and you see what Liverpool and City have done, we should be closer to them in terms of scoring. I'm not saying better or levels, but we should be nearer. United have spent a lot of money, and they've got a lot of good attacking players. I'm not saying they should be clear of City, but for the money they've spent, they should definitely be closer to City. And there's a gulf in, well, everybody in the league, but second place, first loser. And I'm sure Manchester United fans and the club, they're used to being top done in England, let alone in their own backyard. So it must hurt being in their backyards. If nothing more, they have a terrific chance of delaying, if nothing more, delaying the title challenge that their City rivals claim to be having, well, will be on the verge of having. So then, yeah, man, that's Man United. That's Man United done on 68 points. Who else should we go with? Let's go on Liverpool. 66 points, dead or something like that. Handwriting's poor. Great 5-0 win against Watford. They lost to United, sadly. Great result for United. They beat Newcastle. They beat Palace. Terrific turnaround, and we know Palace. It's Liverpool fans. It's been a tricky ground to go to. I mean, the year they were meant to win the league. There's nothing more to be said on Liverpool other than excellent finish. Mo Salah, like Mo Salah's ridiculous. He's nicking the game against Palace. You saw what he did against Watford. Not even just him. I was about to say Coutinho there, Firmino, Mane, everybody's moving 30, everybody's moving inspired, and that's what you need, inspiration to get you through these tough months. Well, the month and a bit that we've got left, because this is the toughest. They've got Liverpool, they've got City in the week, in the champs. They're underdogs, but you back in, if anyone's an underdog going into something, and they did beat them before, to be honest with you. So it'll be for neutrals. The champs will be a terrific thingy. That game in particular, I'm looking forward. It'll be terrific. I'd love for both to lose. Of course, I don't want the English team to win the champs, but you've got to rate Liverpool. Anything Mo Salah touches is turning to gold right now. And it's crazy. I'm keen to see next year. I don't care for all of this flop talk and stuff, but if you look at Salah's stats bar this year, he's more or less got 15 or so league goals in total, yeah? Let's just say, boom, he returns 15 or the tally that Sterling's on for the whole of the campaign next year, yeah? Boom. That, for me, that's decent. That is all right in a day and age where wingers are not doing that. But man would say he's having a flop, he's having a poor season and things like that because of what he's doing this year. So next year, I'll keen to see the perspective people have. But Mo Salah is a bad boy, 40-odd mil. People were turning up their nose. And Liverpool are laughing, man. Like, the guy is ridiculous. And another thing I have to keep reiterating, I have to give credit to Klopp's coaching, because Salah, prior to this, the most he got in the season was 15. They knew that Salah was good out wide. They know his strengths are on pace, and they know he can get in good positions. So what did they do? They recognised all of this, and they're like, boom, Salah, we're going to train you. And Salah helped himself. It's not all them, but let's get in central positions. At the end of the day, goals and assists win games. So let's get you better at that. Let's get in a position where you can do that. And what is it? He's scoring mad goals this year because of that. He does hug the touchline at times, but he comes off that and he wants to score. People don't speak about the assists. He's definitely, last time I checked, he had 9 assists for Liverpool in the league. So he's definitely in the top. He's definitely in the top 3 assist providers as well. So he's scoring and providing. So the guy's ridiculous. So that's Salah and Liverpool third on 66 points done. Spurs and 64 points. Now between there's 2 points separating Liverpool and Spurs. That's the new title, top 4 race, to be honest. On top of the relegation thing, this is the only one that's going to provide excitement. Both of them, because of Spurs' great result against Chelsea, both of them have got top 4 in my opinion. Unless it'll be hard for even Spurs to bottle that. To be honest, it's just down to them two clubs who wants to get third and fourth. I'm so sure it's all automatic qualification now, right? But let's just assume fourth have to play a qualifier. You don't really want to be doing all of that with the World Cup and transfers and all of this, if that is the case. So it's Liverpool and Spurs backing it, and the form Liverpool's in is crazy, and the form Spurs is in is crazy. So it'll be keen to see who gets third and fourth. Not quite sure of the fixtures they have awaiting them in April if they have any big games, but Spurs just dealt with one that they had in Chelsea. So I'm keen to see how that one's going to go, man. So we might as well talk about Spurs, man. I just said it, 64 points, man. They went out to Juventus, but they've handled business. They've beat Swansea. They beat somebody else as they beat They've won 3 Premier League games this month, innit? I can't remember who else they played, but they definitely beat Chelsea and Swansea, handling business, even without Kane. They're doing their thing, convincing performance. They even missed Kane yesterday, to be honest with you. If they lost, everybody would have been saying that, yes, but they're doing their thing. It shows what inspiration and all of these things can do for you, because there was no Kane. I don't know what going for Toby, what these lot are doing with Toby, but he wasn't there. And all of these, Rose weren't there, was he? So a lot of their, definitely last season, their 3 key players weren't there in a big game against Chelsea, and they turned up. Credit to Spurs, they're moving mad with. It shows what consistency, inspiration, fight, and galvanization can do for you, man. It don't matter if it's Eriksen, Son, Kane, who wasn't there, or Dele Alli, who's getting the headlines. Everyone is moving on crud. So shout out to Spurs, man. It pains me to say it, but you've got to give credit where credit's due, man. 64 points. They're there for a reason, and to be honest, you could say Spurs even have been by the last couple of years. They've been having a bad season because they're normally solid in the top 4, but you've got to give credit to them, man. So that's your City, United, Liverpool, Spurs. So let's talk about the last 2 remaining clubs. Chelsea, they're on 56 points. They've lost to City now. They lost to City, I believe. Did they lose to City? Yeah, they lost to City. They lost to Barcelona. They lost to Spurs. I'm sure they've lost another big game as well. Was it Man United? I could be wrong about when that was, man. Football turns fast. But either way, it's looking like, I mean, you wouldn't have, why does Chelsea always do this? You wouldn't have thought they won the league title last year. It's ridiculous. Like, they won a league title and they're finishing 5th. Whether it's Conte with these tactics and what he's doing, whether it's he was shagged by the back room with the recruitment, selling Matic to United and bringing in subpar replacements, whether it was in January or the summer editions, he's been stitched up. It does look like it's come that love little marriage that it looked like Conte was going to stay for the end. People are saying they haven't loved the manager like this since Jose of old. It did look like it was going to be a good thing, but it looks like it's heading to an end, and I've said this. There's several reasons to suggest this. He's spoken about going to Italy, back to Italy. He always plays quiet on comments. He says stuff like, "I'm just a manager. I'm just a football manager. I'm not this." So yeah, man, Chelsea really need to back up their ideas. I did back them to get top 4 ahead of Spurs, but they're not in form, and Spurs are galvanised and showing consistency to get top 4, and that's what it's about. So Chelsea ain't gonna get that. So yeah, Christensen's been in a bit of poor form as well. So last, but definitely least, Arsenal, 51 points in 6th. It was nice to win a game in the Premier League against Stoke for once. We ain't won in the Premier League in how long? Lost to City, lost to Brighton, lost to Swansea, I'm so sure. Am I talking the right sense? Yeah. Great 3-0, well, we didn't play Swansea now, but it was a great 3-0 victory against Watford. We're doing what we needed to be done in that aspect, man. It's the Stoke and Watford games, can't really find fault in the Watford game. Great second half against Stoke. If you're looking for any positives from the month of March, it'd probably be the 2-legged fixture against AC Milan, which a lot of Arsenal fans were pessimistic or scared or wary about, and we turned up in it. So yeah, man, sadly we lost to Brighton. I don't think we played Swansea this month. I stand corrected, people. We lost to Brighton. I believe prior to the Stoke game, we were on a little bit of an unwanted run in the Premier League, not winning for a minute, to be honest, past the Watford game. So yeah, it hasn't been plain sailing for Arsenal as usual. We found the way to be poorer than last year. We sit sixth for a reason. Ultimately, we've let ourselves down with away form, like with the backed up with the point where I just said we lost to Brighton. So yeah, man, we're not playing for nothing but pride, really. Just pride in the 3 points that we go out and get in the Premier League. Hopefully Chelsea continue to mess up and we can get 5th. Hell, it's a miracle, but maybe even 4th, but that's not going to happen. So all our eggs are firmly in the Europa League basket, which if you're Arsenal, we've never done well at putting all our eggs in one basket. At least, well, the only thing was getting top 4 for recent years, and we've shown we can't even do that anymore. So yeah, it's looking a bit peak. But anyways, guys, man, apologies for carrying on looking down. I thought, let me fix it, try do a different thing and fix up and use an iPad. But yeah, man, that's my review for the month of March. We'll see where we stand at this time in April. Guys, the Lulu Guno, I'm out.